What up, it's your Timbers here. Now, since this month I'm doing my reviews for past horror movies, and since the trailer for Summit just got released today, I am just gonna go right ahead and do it and do my review for the original Scream. Now, I'm only gonna talk about the first Scream. When the fifth one do come out, I am gonna be talking about I am gonna be talking about talk about the sequels up until the because on Sunday watch the original Scream on big screen. Because I was hoping that the trailer will show that, but it didn't, which I was actually a little disappointed, but I was still cool with because, hey, I got to see one of my favorite slasher movies on the big screen for the first time. I mean, the original Scream is definitely up there in my top 10 favorite slasher movies. It's definitely up there with the likes of Friday the 13th, Child's Play, Texas Chainsaw, etc. I mean, it really, if you really look at it, really redefined the slasher genre. And it's so iconic. It's of course where like this Ghostface killer ends up targeting these teens in Woodsboro, and of course the lead girl is Sadie Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, and her boyfriend. This is pretty much Billy Loomis, played by Skeech Ulrich, who, by the way, is so insane as Billy Loomis. Uh, of course, you also have Courtney Cox as the role of Gail Weathers, which is interesting to see Courtney Cox in this because at the time she did this, she also was doing the show Friends, so it was really interesting to see her like going from Friends to a slasher film like this. I believe this actually even premiered around the same time she was doing Friends, so I always found that to be really interesting. I mean, just think of it. In the '90s, two of the Friends stars ended up doing a horror movie. In early 1990, Jennifer Aniston had Leprechaun and Courtney Cox had Scream. So you got to start somewhere, I guess. But anyway, of course, you got David Arquette, who played the role of Dewey. This movie is directed by the late great Wes Craven, R.I.P. Man, pretty much one of the most iconic horror directors of all time. I also loved how he had a cameo in this as well. I mean, him wearing like his like a Freddy Krueger sweater was so awesome to watch. This movie also had loads of really intriguing rules that Randy pretty much puts out. Of course, a couple of the rules to survive a horror movie is never have sex, don't drink or do drugs, and don't say "I'll be right back" because you won't be back. And of course, his other logic is everybody's a suspect. I mean, I love Jamie Kennedy as the Randy Rock. Like I've always Jamie Kennedy, but it's actually that his career stumbled thanks to Son of the Mask. But I've always loved Jamie Kennedy. Whether he was Randy in the original Scream, whether he was in Malibu's Most Wanted, Jamie Kennedy is the man, and I loved him in Scream. By the way, his podcast, like he has like a YouTube page and he does like his podcast. I really love his podcast he does. I mean, Jamie Kennedy is always cool. And of course, you also had some other trained cast members, like you had, Matthew Lillard as the role of as Stu Matcha. You also had Rose McGowan as Tatum Raleigh. Um, you even had obviously one of the best opening scenes to a horror movie will always be the Drew Barrymore opening scene. I mean, that was like I remember, when most people like first. Granted, I was way too young to even when this movie got released, but I remember hearing like how so I was even so surprised because Drew Barrymore was like on the poster. You'll expect her to be one of the main characters. Nope, she ends up getting killed like pretty much in the very beginning. Spoiler alert, but the movie's been out since 1997. This is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler territory because to be honest, it's been hard to talk about the original Scream without giving some spoilers away. So if you have not really, for some reason, if you never seen the original Scream, turn away, mute us. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people who have seen Scream right now, so let's be real. But anyway, of course, the reveal of the killer ended up pretty much being Billy and Stu, and the climax between those two was so awesome. I mean, Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, those two play off each other perfectly. Uh, and of course, this has some really iconic, cool lines. The voice of Ghostface is so iconic, which, by the way, I'm going to kill your childhood right now because the voice of Ghostface is literally none other than Roger L. Jackson. Now, if you guys don't really know much about Roger L. Jackson, besides doing the voice of Ghostface in Scream, He also provided the voice of JoJo on Powerpuff Girls. Mind blown. He also did like voices for Teen Titans, but his most known was of course JoJo in Powerpuff Girls. So like when they announced that they were doing Powerpuff Girls live action series and all, I'm like, oh man, you need to get Roger L. Jackson back as Mojo JoJo. Come on, man. But anywho, back enough talk about Powerpuff Girls, and now back to Scream. All right. Anyway, yeah, the original Scream is just super iconic to watch. It's so fun. This is the only time you'll ever see the Fonz himself getting killed by Ghostface. That's right. The Fonz himself, Henry Winkler, is also in this movie. And of course, the bloodshed's pretty cool. The stab stuff in this is great. Definitely one of my favorite, one of my quintessential favorite slasher movies of all time. I just love this movie to death. It's definitely so cool, so fun. I mean, this movie will always leave you guessing from beginning to end, who the killer is or who the killers is. Because who did not expect, I kid you not, who did not really expect that it was going to be two killers, all right? Yeah, I mean, I literally remember when I first saw Scream. That was a real shock for me to find out that it was two killers in this. But, yeah, that aside, I just still this film. The sequels are also pretty good, too. But obviously, nothing leads up to the original. Of course, the music at the end credits is really cool. I mean, yeah, and fun fact, Scream was originally supposed to be titled Scary Movie, but they changed it to Scream, which years later we will end up. The company Dimension Films will later go ahead and do a Scream spoof simply titled Scary Movie. So there's that. But I mean, remember the iconic scene of what's that? Yeah, I actually used to have that mask, by the way. Anyway, as I said, the original Scream is definitely always the best. Some of the coolest kills in this. I mean, this movie really is one of the best slasher movies of the 90s, and it's so terrific. If you guys have never really seen the original Scream, why are you doing watching this video if you haven't seen the original Scream? But if you guys have not seen the original Scream, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's so iconic in every way, and it's one of the best. Anyway, let me lead you guys. Have you ever watched the original Scream? If so, what's up? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Favorite moments, favorite kills in this, favorite lines, favorite characters? Drop comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Simon signing out.